Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we are here in the Lizard Lounge, and that is because today I am going to be giving my Chahoua gecko Avery a brand new enclosure. So this here is Avery's current enclosure. I've had it set up for about 2 years now. I don't really know if you can see her, but she is hiding inside of that cork tube right there. There's her little face. Hello. But yeah, so this is her enclosure and has been her enclosure for the past 2 years, and while it does completely work for her, I am just not really a big fan of it. I don't love how it looks. I think it's kind of ugly, honestly, and I also don't like how there are places like this cork tube that she can go and hide, and I have no way to access her. So I decided that it was time to give Avery a new enclosure that was designed a bit better to suit her needs, make her a bit more accessible to me, and also to just look nicer, because like I said, this one is a bit of a mess. So a few weeks ago I went and I set up this enclosure here, and over the past few weeks I've just sort of been letting the plants grow in and establish in here before I go ahead and add Avery. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a tour of the new enclosure that I set up because I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I don't know, I think it looks really good. So this enclosure here is an 18 by 18 by 24 inch tall Exoterra, which in my opinion is a good size for a single Chahoua gecko. This enclosure is fully bioactive, so you can see we have a lot of live plants in it, and we also have our drainage layer down here. So as you can see, all on the bottom here, I have a layer of some clay balls to give the enclosure good drainage, and then I have the substrate separated from the drainage layer with a bit of window screen mesh there. And then of course in the enclosure itself, we have a couple live plants, and now I'm really happy with the plant choice in this enclosure. So this enclosure here has 2 snake plants in it. There's one in the front right here that you can see, and then there is a second, taller one in the back of the enclosure over here. Then right in the middle of the tank here, we have one of my favorite plants. We have this gorgeous aglaonema here, and I really love this plant. I think that it's such a beautiful plant. I love the way the leaves look, and I think that it makes like a great centerpiece plant for this enclosure. I'm just a little bit obsessed. I think that these are like the prettiest plants ever. So then you can also see that right in the front here, in front of the aglaonema, I have this plant right here, and I am completely blanking on the name. I do not remember what it's called at all, but we have some of it down there, and then in addition to that, I also have a bit of it growing up here. So it's a bit hard to tell with all of the wood and the plants in the way, but in this background here, I foamed a cork tube in place, and I'm using that cork tube to kind of act as a planter. So up top here, I have some more of that plant that, once again, I'm completely blanking on the name. And then I also have some Philodendron Brazil planted up here, and now I'm really excited about this. This is such a good placement for a Philodendron Brazil because over time, this plant is just going to grow into like long vines that I'll be able to drape all throughout the enclosure, and I'm so excited. This is such a beautiful plant, so I'm really excited for it to grow and just take over this enclosure. And then of course, in addition to the plants, I do have some nice branches in here. Chahoua geckos are completely arboreal, so you know, you need a lot of good climbing space for them. And thankfully, I have this incredible piece of is it mannitol or nanitol? I don't remember. But I have this gorgeous piece of wood here that provides so many different climbing opportunities. It gives Avery so much space to just explore in here. I just really love how this one single piece of wood really just fills in the entire enclosure. And then in addition to that piece of wood, I do have a few other just random vines in here just to add a bit more climbing space. So on top here, I am running a UVB bulb. This one here is a Zoomed 5.0 UVB, and I don't have a feeding ledge in here yet, but I will be adding that after I move Avery out of her other other enclosure, and then, you know, I'll move her feeding ledge with her and put it in this enclosure. So there you go. There is a good look at the new enclosure that I set up for Avery. I am super, super, super excited to add her in here. I think that she is really going to enjoy this enclosure. So now I just need to wait for Avery to come out of this cork here, because like I said, I cannot access her in this piece of cork at all, which I really dislike, so I can't get her out right now. I just have to wait until she comes out on her own. And I can almost guarantee you that Avery is not going to come out of that cork round until all of the lights go off at night. So I'm probably going to come back in here later tonight after all the lights have gone out and hope that Avery is out, and then I will move her from her enclosure into the new one. So I will probably just check back with you guys in a little bit, because right now I just have to wait until she comes out. So as you can see, all of the lights in my lizard lounge are now off, except for like the ceiling light that I just turned on, obviously, but it is nighttime. It's like 1 in the morning. You can see a lot of my geckos are out, including Avery, my Chahoua gecko. Avery is right here, so thankfully it should be pretty easy for me to get her from this enclosure into her new enclosure. Okay, I had to put the camera down because Avery got really jumpy and started going all over the place, but oh my god, focus. But anyway, she is now in this enclosure here, as you can see. Like I said, it's 1 in the morning, so I'm just going to leave her here for the night. We'll let her settle in, and then I will check back in with you guys tomorrow when the lights are back on and it's not 1 in the morning. See you guys soon. Hello everybody, it is now the next morning, so I figured let's come in and check on Chaos and see how she did overnight in her enclosure. I already took a look at her, and spoiler alert, she's doing just fine, but yeah, let's go and look at her. I also just realized that I said Chaos in that last clip. I meant to say Avery. Chaos is my Legionnaires gecko. So Avery is currently in the enclosure here. I don't know if anyone can spot her, but she is on the other side of this branch right there. You can see her foot poking out and her tail a little bit. There's Avery. She has her head under these leaves up here. I'm bad at holding the camera and talking at the same time, but Avery is on that side of the stick is what I am trying to say. So anyways, Avery is not super visible right now, but that's fine. She doesn't have to be. She can just enjoy her time there. But yeah, so Avery spent her first night in the enclosure. I imagine it went well. You know, I don't see any signs that it didn't go well, so hopefully Avery is settling in well. And you know, I'm sure it will take her a little bit to fully adjust to the new enclosure, but once she does, I think that she's really going to enjoy this enclosure. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm really excited to see how the plants grow in and everything. So yeah, there you go. There is Avery in her new enclosure. So there we go. This video wasn't really anything else besides, you know, giving you guys a tour of Avery's new enclosure and adding her into it. So it was just a simple, fun little video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe to my channel. Both of those things really help me out, and I really appreciate it. Before we go, I also want to let you all know that my new virtual zoo, Beyond the Wild, has officially launched. So you guys can go to beyondthewild.ca to check out the virtual zoo that I created. You can take a tour of it, you can become a member. There's also a pet corner on there with like care guides and stuff, so you guys can see animal information. And I have a shop. I finally have come out with like merch designs, so I have a Beyond the Wild shop with awesome designs of my cat gecko, my chameleons, my blue-tongued skink, and one of my white tree frogs. So check all of those out. I will have links for them all in the description below, and it would really mean a lot to me if you supported me and, you know, checked out my website, my zoo, my shop, any of that. I appreciate it all. So with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I do really hope that you enjoyed it. Oh, also check out my social media. Everything is just EmmaSam99. Definitely check out my TikTok, my Instagram, my Twitter, all that fun stuff. I would love to have you guys over there. So yeah, do that. with all that said, I'm gonna end the video now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.